want to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined here at the media workout for KSI versus FaZe Temper by the man behind it all, Mr. Mams. Taylor, how are you, man?
Not bad, man. Good to see you.
Likewise. Let's just get straight to it then. It's the fourth Misfits card. It's the second pay-per-view. It's the second KSI fight in under 12 months. It's all coming together, isn't it?
It is. We're going to have KSI's fighting a few times this year, so we're excited. We're excited for all that's to come. Super, super happy, thrilled about the DAZN deal we've been working on for a while, and that's what we're about. We set goals and achieve them, and we work hard towards them, and couldn't be more happy about the team that we've assembled and the partners, DAZN, Callis, Owland, KSI, and myself. It's a dream team. It's really an honour to be working with these guys.
Yeah, let's talk about that deal. I believe it's a 5-year deal, 6 fights, including 2 pay-per-views.
It's a minimum. So we might have 12, we might have 10, we might have 8. You don't know. We've got to see how things evolve. But that's just the minimum.
And that is the plan to spread them both across the UK and the US, or could we see some more countries potentially?
More countries too. As we evolve, we're definitely... we're going to have more and more. There's talk of a few different countries right now, so yeah,
With those minimum, the 2 pay-per-views included in that, does that put pressure on you to find more pay-per-view fights? Because obviously we know KSI is a big name, he'll always be a pay-per-view star, but he said maybe after that Jake Paul fight, if it happens, he might think about stopping the fight. So could we see some more pay-per-view stars come through?
Absolutely. That's what we're doing now. We're building stars. We're building their profiles, and at the end of the day, not only KSI doesn't want Misfits to rely on him only, but I think at the end of the day he's going to have the itch to maybe carry on fighting, maybe not. We'll see, but that's a long time away. We enjoy what we have at hand right now, and we certainly have a lot of options and a lot of prospects.
100%. Let's move to Saturday night then. We'll start at the top of the card. A shame about Dylan Dennis. He pulled out. Just first of all, what made you take the decision of getting FaZe Temper?
Well, it was so his KSI's team, his coaches. Once Dennis was pulling out, they're like, "Look, we've done 100 rounds with Southpaw. Let's look at Temper. He's a good Southpaw. He's a challenge for KSI. It's going to be a challenge which showcases where he's at, and I think he didn't get to really illustrate that with his last 2 fights in one night as much as we wanted him to because of Pineda not fighting back, Swarms obviously, but respect to them both at the end of the day, taking the fight on short notice, but yeah, here we are, and I think it's a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills, and it made the most logical sense to his team, and they said this is what we want, and I made that happen. So,
was you frustrated with Dennis the way the whole scenario played out?
Yeah, of course I was. I had a dialogue with him pretty frequently, and for many, many months he was like, "Please, I want to fight Logan or KSI. I want to fight Logan or KSI," and I'm like, "Is this guy serious?" And he was so committed to constantly communicating with me about it, and obviously he has been an entertaining person, whether you like him or hate him. He does bring entertainment, and I think we were all a bit disappointed that it didn't go through. I think a lot of people were looking forward to seeing him get beaten up as well. So
over the past 4 events you've put on, and just influencer boxing in general, there are a lot of pullouts. Crossover boxing, sorry, my mistake. There are a lot of pullouts. Is that a problem you want to address, or do you think that is just part of the parcel with crossover boxing?
It's part and parcel, but look, I think these guys will start seeing that they're not going to be rewarded for that, and I think we're in a high-risk sport. So when you're training for boxing, there is a possibility that you're going to get injured for your fight, and that injury is not surmountable for you to be able to get into the ring in good shape. A lot of fighters just say, let's go, and that's the fighter mentality. So hopefully, but I do want everyone to be safe at the same time. I don't want people fighting if they're not in good shape to fight. I think as it evolves, look, we've always had a plan B and a plan C, and we keep trying to make sure our plan Bs and plan Cs are better and better. But to answer your question, you're going to get pullouts here and there, just like you do in traditional boxing and in MMA as well. Any combat sport, it's a dangerous sport. It's not practicing darts and not showing up. Whereas in Dylan's case, he didn't get injured, he didn't show up, but we're definitely not interested in giving him another opportunity. So, you know, that's a bridge he burnt.
Okay, well, let's move on to the rest of the card. Then it's stacked from top to bottom. You've got Zanetti taking on Slim in a fantastic fight. You've got Swarms versus Ryan Taylor. What are the picks of the card for you?
There's not one fight on there that I'm not excited about for one reason or another. I think they're very competitive fights. For the most part, I think it's hard to predict a winner. I think two people are being underestimated, and that is Tom Zanetti. I think he's going to be Slim's toughest challenge yet, and I do believe that Swarms has put in the hours, so I'm very curious to see how he is, but I don't know that Ryan's going to walk through him as easily as he thinks.
And then just behind us, we just had the workout for Ordway versus Brooke. Always good to get female crossover fighters on the bill. And Astrid Wetty, I'm sure that's a fight that you'd love to make in the future for the winner of that fight.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm excited to see this fight as well, and I think, you know, it's great that we've got female influencers and female celebrities that are more and more interested in this space. Look, I had a parent come up to me yesterday and say, I can't thank you enough. And I'm like, why? She said, my kid was depressed. My kid was having confidence issues, and they've been so inspired to box every day. They go to the gym every day, box. Not only have they lost weight, got in amazing shape, but mentally and their confidence, it's just a different space. So thank you so much for helping be a part of that. That to me and to JJ and to all of us, I'm sure, that is more rewarding than any pay-per-view numbers, than any checks, than anything else. That is what it's about. If you're really changing lives, even if it's one or if it's that's a kid who's been inspired by something we're doing. That goes a long way for me, and that inspires me to carry on trying to be a force of positivity for that for kids and inspiration for them.
And when you see parents come up to you like that, that's a fantastic counter-argument for the traditional boxing fan who constantly criticises what yourself and KSI are doing, but you might be changing lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we're not criticising them, so it's a bit funny that why are they so focused on what we're doing? Carry on. We're not. If anything, we're grateful because we're inspired by traditional boxing, certain elements, but there's certain elements that I have put my foot down to change. The things that aren't respected in traditional boxing or in combat sports, in MMA organizations, and in, you know, for example, I don't know if you know this, but we will disclose pay to every single fighter, not even if they have a promotional agreement with another promoter, with a manager, with whoever. We're going to let you know this is what you're getting paid. So are you sure you're okay with this? Because there's agreements in place where it's happened to us, and I learned from this quickly, it's happened to us, where the fighter was getting X amount of money and he got paid a fifth of what we contracted his promoter for. And that's between them and their deal. I will not allow that because you're putting yourself on the line, and I want you to know what you're worth to me. And I think we're very passionate about being fair and transparent, and those two things mean everything to us, you know?
Last thing I want to talk to you about is over the past coming days, past weeks, a lot of rumours KSI versus Jake Paul could happen in December. For you as the promoter, How confident are you that you can get this over the line for 2023?
Very confident. There's a couple of stumbling blocks. We've got to get the weight agreed, which I've spoken to Nikisa, Jake's manager, and we've had very civil and very, very cooperative conversations. There's going to be compromises on both sides, and I'm very confident we're going to make this happen because I believe both sides really want this to happen. If one side doesn't, then generally, there's excuses, there's this, that. We want this. They want this. December, all the talking shall stop. And I can't bloody wait for it. Half my timeline is Jake Paul haters, so maybe that will stop at some point. I can have some peace.
Where do you think that fight will take place if it happens?
We're working on it. But it's definitely a big fight, and it needs a big space, and there's some things in the works. Hopefully, look, I'm very confident that we can make an announcement of some sort in the next 4 or 5 weeks, hopefully, and people will know this is happening, this is legit, and all answers will be questioned all questions will be answered in the ring.
Last one, do you think Misfits and MVP can work together as a cross-promotional for this fight?
That's a one-off. I think we have to, don't we?
Excellent, Mams. Thank you very much for speaking to IFL. Look forward to seeing how this week plays out. There's already been some carnage with Anthony Taylor, which we can already expect.
Yeah, I've got to catch up and see what's happening.
Cheers, Mams.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife and saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.